Hi, let's get started with Creo Parametric. Here we are going to see how we can launch Creo Parametric. So there are two ways to launch. The first way is to click on your desktop shortcut icon if you have your shortcut icon is created, or you can launch using your Windows taskbar. You can just go back to your Windows and you can click on all programs. You can click on PDC Creo and you can click on PDC Creo Parametric 2 so that it will launch Creo Parametric 2. And this is how the initial screen will look like once the Creo Parametric is launched. For example, here you can have a look, and this is how the Creo Parametric startup window will look like. Here you have a browser, and here you have your default home buttons available. Here you have your common folders available. And let's discuss about the few important terms and definitions what we are going to use inside our Creo Parametric 2. Entity is nothing but any sketch segment which is created inside the sketch is called as entity. For example, an entity can be a line, can be an arc, it can be a circle. Whatever the sketch segment we create inside the sketch environment is called as entity. Dimension is nothing but the measurement of any sketch entity. For example, in case of a line, the length of the line is called as the dimension. In case of a circle, the diameter or the radius of the circle is called as the dimension. Constraint, these are all the logical operations that are performed on the selected geometry to define its shape and the position with respect to the other geometry. Parameter is nothing but the numerical value. For example, whatever the dimension we add to our sketch is called as the parameter. Relation is an equation which defines the relation between two sketch entities. Weak dimensions and weak constraints. Weak dimensions and weak constraints are the temporary dimensions that are applied to the sketches automatically as we draw the sketches inside the sketch environment. So this will appear in light blue color, and this can be removed when we apply the dimensions or constraints manually. And the strong dimensions and strong constraints, these whatever the dimensions or the constraints we apply manually to the sketches are called as strong dimensions and strong constraints. This will appear in dark blue color, and all the dimensions added manually to the sketch are called as strong dimensions. And it is always advisable to have all the dimensions and constraints to be strong. Let us discuss about the few options available under the file menu. The first and the important option is set working directory, which is used to define the working directory for your task. So whatever the file we create will be saved automatically under your working directory. There are two ways to set the working directory. First is using the navigator, and the second way is using your select working directory dialog box. First, let us discuss about the using navigator. Just go back to your Creo, can just click on open. So you can browse for your folder, and you can choose that. You can click on that folder, you can right click, and you can choose as set working directory. And the other way of doing this is using a select working directory. So you can directly click on the select working directory dialog box, and you can choose your folder. For example, let me choose this Creo 2 as my working directory, and I'll say OK. So if I open, you can see the Creo 2 folder will be open, since this folder has been set as my working directory. So whatever the file I create and save, it will automatically goes and saves in Creo 2 folder for our future use. And here we can discuss about few of the flyout options what we have in Creo. So first we'll discuss about the flyout with some drives. So you can go back to your Creo, can click on open. Here you can click where you can see few of you can see the drives available under the PC which we are using. So you can see here, if I want to go to C drive, I can click on this. If you want to go to E or F, I can click on those drives, and I can access the folders from there. And the next one is the organize button flyout. So this is, for example, go back, and here you have your organize, which is used to organize your folders. If you want to create a new folder in your working directory, you can click on your new folder, and if you click on rename, you can rename the folder, and you can cut, copy, paste, even you can delete any of the folder if you want using these options. And there is another option used add to common folders. If you want to add any folders to your common folders, you can click on this option. You can click on this option so that the folder will come and listed here, so that you can easily access that folder. And the next one what we have is the tools flyout. You can see here what we have. This is a tools flyout, and here you have few options to sort the parts which will be visible there. And you can click on up one level the folders. You can add any folders to favorites folder by using this. And if you click on this all versions, you can see all the versions of a part. You can click on, you can see the instances of any part. And the next one is look in default dialog box, which we have here. And here we have your options like in session, desktop. So if you can directly, if you click on in session, whatever the files we have opened in the session will be listed, and you can just click the part and you can open. If you want to open any file from your desktop, you can click on this. If you want to open any file from your documents, you can just directly click and open the file from the particular location. And let's discuss about the new dialog box, which is used to create new files. So let me again keep my Creo 2 as my working directory. So just click on new. As I click on here, you can choose the type of file which you want to create. If you want to create a sketch file, you can click on sketch. If you want to select a part file, you can click on part. And here we have a subtype under the part. Suppose if I want to create a solid part, I can click on solid. If I want to create a sheet metal, I can click on sheet metal. So let me click on solid, and here under the name you can specify a name for your part. For example, I'll say extrude 3. And here if this use default template checkbox is selected, it will open a default template wherein we can create our own part. If you uncheck this part and click on OK, here you can see few of the default templates available for inches and for mm. So you can choose any of these and you can say OK. And so this is how our new part window appears after it opens. And here you can see the file name what we specified when we are getting a part is created here. And here you have 3 default planes, and here you have our default coordinate system. And next we'll discuss about the file open dialog box. For example, go back to your Creo and click on open. So here you can see we have few options like under file name you can specify the file name of a part which you want to open, and under the type you can choose the file type which you want to open. For example, if you want to open a part file only, if you want to see the part files, you can click on part. If you click on the assembly, only the assembly files will be listed, so you can choose among those. If you click on drawing, only the drawing files will be opened. Let me choose the parts, and here you have option to see the preview, so show preview option. So whatever the part you choose, and if it is selected, you can see the preview of those part and you can open it. And let's discuss about the in session. So when you click on in session, whatever the part you have created or you have used in the session will be listed, so that you can just directly choose that part and you can click on open. It opens that particular part. And next let us discuss about the erase option. So go back to your Creo and under file go to manage session. Here you have 3 options under erase. Let us discuss about the erase current. This option is used to erase the current object which you have opened in Creo. And here you can see the next option is erase not displayed. This option removes all the object from the session which was not displayed or which is running in the background. And here you can see the other option, which is erase unused model reps, which is used to erase the object whichever is not used in the representation but whichever is there in the session. So these 3 options are used to improve your system performance sometimes, so that you can remove or you can erase the unwanted objects being displayed in your background. And here then we'll discuss about the delete option. We have 2 options under delete. One is old version and the other one is all versions. The old version is So what happens whenever we create a part and whenever we click on save, each time it will create a new version of the particular file. So for example, if we have saved the file 10 times, there will be 10 versions created on for that part. So these options are used to delete that old versions and only to keep your new versions. For example, when you click on the old versions, any old versions of the part will be removed and only the latest version of the part will be retained in your folder. When you click on the all version, the new version of the file and also the old version of the file will be removed. That it means that the complete part will be removed from your folder and from your session. You can access those options from manage file. Here you can see, you can click on delete old versions, so it will delete all the old versions. When you click on delete all versions, it will delete old versions and also the latest version of the part. It means that the complete part will be deleted from your directory. And the next option is play trial file. This option is used in case if you lost any of your files. You can retrieve the file what you lost using this play trial file. So whenever the part is created, there will be a trial file which is created and will be saved on your working directory. Suppose if you have lost the file, you can click on this option, you can choose the play trial file, and which will be helpful for you to retrieve your file which you lost it. And here we have as a regular options to save your file. Just when you click on save, whatever the part you create will be saved, and save a copy is used to make one more copy of the part what you are creating. Let's go here. So when you click on save, it just saves the part what you are working on. And when you click under save as, we have two options again. When you click on save a copy, it will save a copy of this part in new name. You can specify a name for you can specify a new name for this file so that the same file will be saved with this new name. And when you click on the save as, save a backup, it will create a backup of this part in some other directory. Here you can see the model name will be as it is. You can backup to, you can choose the folder, and the part will be saved in that other location, or the backup of this part will be created in the other location. And rename, this option is used to rename your file. Go back, you can click on file, click on manage file. So you have an option here, rename the current object and sub objects. When you click on rename, here you can see you can specify the new name for your part. So whatever you specify, the part will be renamed with that name. For example, let me say extrude 4. And here we have another two options. The first option is rename on disk and in session. This option is used to rename your file in session, that is the part whichever is open, and also it will rename the part which is saved in your folder. And if you click on the next radio button, that is rename in session, only the part which is open in that session will be renamed, and the part which is there in your folder will not be renamed and it will be as it is. So you can choose based on your need and you can make a rename of this part.